Number 10. Nobody is actually watching you. Let's start with a nightmare scenario that you have probably lived through. You are walking down the street. You trip over an uneven crack in the sidewalk. You stumble. Your arms flail around like one of those inflatable tube men at a car dealership. You recover, but your face turns bright red. You assume everyone on the block is laughing at you. You replay this moment in your head for 3 years. But here is the brutally honest truth. Nobody cares. This is called the spotlight effect. It is a psychological glitch where we overestimate how much people notice about us. We walk around thinking we are the main character in a high-budget Hollywood movie, and everyone else is just an extra paid to watch our performance. That is basically like worrying that the barista at Starbucks is judging your music taste. They are not. They are worried about their rent, their student loans, or why their back hurts. Thinking everyone is watching you is technically a form of narcissism. Not the malicious kind, just the kind where you think you are important enough to be the center of the universe. You are not. You are a background character in everyone else's movie. This sounds harsh, but it is actually freedom. It means you can wear that weird shirt. You can dance badly at a wedding. You can start that YouTube channel with 0 subscribers. Because if you fail, the world won't mock you. The world will just keep scrolling. Number 9. Fairness is a fairy tale. We are taught from kindergarten that if you follow the rules, share your toys, and eat your vegetables, you will be rewarded. We grow up believing in a cosmic vending machine. If you put a good deed coin in the slot, a good result candy bar should drop out. When it doesn't happen, we get angry. We look at the guy who cheats on his taxes and buys a yacht, and we scream, "That's not fair." Well, grab a seat because I need to break some bad news. The universe does not have a human resources department. This is known as the just world fallacy. It is the belief that the world has an inherent moral balance. It does not. Nature is chaotic. A tornado does not check your credit score before it tears the roof off your house. A virus does not care if you volunteered at the soup kitchen last Thanksgiving. Expecting the world to treat you fairly because you are a good person is like expecting a bull not to attack you because you are a vegetarian. It makes no sense to the bull. The unfair advantage here is acceptance. Once you realize the game is not rigged against you, it is just indifferent. You stop wasting energy complaining about the referee. You stop waiting for karma to do your dirty work. You realize that you have to make your own luck because the universe is too busy expanding into the void to care about your promotion. Number 8. You are terrible at calculating value. Imagine you go to a movie theater. You pay $20 for a ticket. You buy the large popcorn that costs as much as a used Honda Civic. 20 minutes into the movie, you realize it is terrible. The acting is wooden. The plot makes no sense. It is excruciating. Do you leave? Most people say no. They sit there for another 2 hours of misery. Why? Because they already paid for it. This is the sunk cost fallacy, and it is ruining your life. We are biologically wired to avoid losing resources. So, we throw good time after bad money. We stay in relationships that make us miserable because we have already been together for 5 years. We finish a college degree we hate because we are already 3 years in. We keep repairing a car that breaks down every Tuesday because we just put new tires on it. Think of it like eating a moldy sandwich just because you bought the bread. It is going to make you sick. The money for the bread is gone. Eating the mold doesn't bring the money back. It just adds a hospital bill to your problems. The most successful people in the world are the ones who can look at a mistake, shrug, and walk away immediately. They don't care about the past investment. They care about the future cost. If the ship is sinking, don't keep painting the deck chairs just because you bought the paint. Jump off. Number 7. Most success advice is survivor's guilt. You go to the bookstore and see a biography by a billionaire tech mogul. The cover features him looking thoughtful in a black turtleneck. He says, "I dropped out of college, took a massive risk, and put my last $1,000 into crypto. That is how I made it. You should do the same." Do not listen to him. This is survivorship bias. It is a logical error where we focus on the people who made it past the selection process and overlook the ones who did not. During World War II, the military looked at planes coming back from battle. They saw bullet holes in the wings and the tail. They decided to reinforce the wings and the tail. But a mathematician named Abraham Wald stopped them. He said, "No, the planes with bullet holes in the engine aren't coming back." When you look at successful people, you are looking at the planes that returned. You are not seeing the thousands of people who dropped out of college, took a massive risk, put their last $1,000 into crypto, and are now living in their parents' basement eating instant noodles. Following the advice of the 0.1% without looking at the failures is dangerous. It is like buying a lottery ticket because the winner on the news said, "You just have to believe." The unfair advantage is being a skeptic. Study the failures. Find out why the other planes crashed. That is where the real data is. Number 6. Your friends are determining your net worth. There is a concept in fishing called the crab bucket theory. If you put a single crab in a bucket, it might climb out. But if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, the moment one tries to escape, the others will grab its legs and pull it back down. They aren't doing it to be mean. It is just instinct. Humans do the exact same thing. We like the status quo. If you suddenly decide you want to lose 50 pounds, stop drinking, and start a business, your friends will get uncomfortable. They will say things like, "Oh, come on, one slice of pizza won't kill you," or "You're working too hard, relax." They aren't bad people. They are just afraid. If you improve, it forces them to look at their own lives and realize they are standing still. Your success shines a light on their stagnation. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. If you are the fittest person in your gym group, you need a new group. It sounds cold, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you hang out with 5 people who complain about the economy, you will be number 6. If you hang out with 5 people who are building empires, you will be number 6. Check your circle. If you feel resistance when you try to climb, you might be in a bucket. Number 5. Perfectionism is just fear in a fancy suit. We wear perfectionism like a badge of honor. In job interviews, when asked for a weakness, we say, "Oh, I just care too much about getting things right." Please, stop lying to yourself. Perfectionism is not about high standards. It is about fear. It is a defense mechanism. If you never finish the project, nobody can judge it. If you never launch the product, nobody can hate it. If you never ask that person out, they can't reject you. Think of it like preparing for a road trip. The perfectionist spends 6 months studying the map, checking the tire pressure, and researching the best gas stations. They never actually leave the driveway. Meanwhile, the imperfect person just gets in the car and drives. Sure, they might get a flat tire in Ohio, but they are getting to California while you are still staring at the map. This is often called analysis paralysis. We drown in data to avoid the risk of doing. The truth is, quantity produces quality. There was a pottery class where half the students were graded on making one perfect pot, and the other half were graded on weight, just making as many pots as possible. At the end of the semester, the quantity group actually made the best pots. Why? Because they churned out trash until they got good. The quality group spent all semester theorizing about one lump of clay. Be willing to be bad at something so you can eventually be good at it. Number 4. You aren't busy, you are just distracted. If I asked you how you are doing, there is a 90% chance you will say, "Good, just really busy." Everyone is busy. We wear busy like a medal of valor. But let's look at your day. How many hours did you spend scrolling through short-form videos? How many times did you check your email just to see an advertisement for a sale on lawnmowers? How long did you spend debating which font to use on a presentation that only 3 people will read? This is where the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, kicks in. This rule states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. That means most of what you do all day is filler. It is administrative fluff. It is motion, not progress. You are rocking in a rocking chair, there is a lot of movement, but you aren't going anywhere. Real productivity is scary because it requires saying no. It requires ignoring things. It means letting the laundry pile up for one more day so you can finish the work that actually pays the mortgage. Being busy is the easy way out. It creates a cloud of dust so you don't have to look at the fact that you aren't actually building anything. Stop bragging about your 60-hour work week if 40 of those hours were spent fighting with a printer and checking notifications. Number 3, malice is rare, stupidity is common. You are driving on the highway. Someone cuts you off. Immediately, you assume they are an evil maniac who woke up this morning specifically to ruin your commute. You take it personally. You get angry. Your blood pressure spikes. But apply a mental model called Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. Or, if not stupidity, just negligence, exhaustion, distraction. That driver probably didn't see you because they were spilling hot coffee on their lap. The coworker who didn't reply to your email probably isn't plotting your downfall. They just have an inbox with 5,000 unread messages. The cashier who messed up your order isn't trying to steal your money. They have been standing on their feet for 8 hours and their brain is fried. Most people are not out to get you. Most people are just struggling to get through the day without setting themselves on fire. When you realize this, you stop being a victim. You stop taking everything as a personal attack. It is a massive competitive advantage because while everyone else is raging and holding grudges, you are cool, calm, and focused. You save your energy for battles that actually matter. Number 2, motivation is a scam. We love the idea of motivation. We watch movies where the hero gets inspired by a montage of lifting heavy rocks and drinking raw eggs, and suddenly, they are a champion. We wait for that lightning bolt of inspiration to hit us before we clean the garage or start the diet. Here is the truth. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They are like the weather in Florida. Sunny one minute, hurricane the next. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will lose to the person who works when they feel miserable. The real currency of success is discipline. Discipline is doing the thing you hate, but doing it like you love it. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need a motivational speaker to hype you up to brush your teeth. You don't watch a YouTube video about the top 10 benefits of flossing every morning. You just do it because it is a habit. It is non-negotiable. You need to move your goals from the inspiration category to the hygiene category. Going to the gym should be as automatic as putting on your pants. Writing that report should be as routine as brewing coffee. Amateurs wait for inspiration. Professionals just get to work. Number 1, no one is coming to save you. This is the scariest and most liberating truth on the list. Deep down, many of us have a childhood fantasy that when things get really bad, an adult will step in. A teacher, a parent, a boss, or a politician. We think someone will fix the economy, fix our health, or fix our happiness. We stand on the side of the road with a flat tire, waiting for a tow truck we never called. The reality is, you are the adult. You are the CEO of your life. If your life is a dumpster fire, you are the one holding the match. If you are unhappy with your weight, no doctor can do the push-ups for you. If you are broke, the government isn't going to write you a check that solves your spending habits. If you are lonely, nobody is going to knock on your door and drag you out to a party. This is called radical responsibility. It does not mean everything is your fault. You didn't cause the inflation or the bad traffic, but it is your responsibility to deal with it. Once you accept that no cavalry is coming over the hill, you stop looking out the window and start looking in the mirror. You realize that you have the wheel. You can turn the car around. You can drive off a cliff, or you can drive to the beach. It is terrifying. It is heavy, but it is the only way to actually win. So, stop waiting. The light is green. Go.